Strategy number 2 is strategic payoff. Now, strategic payoff, I want to kind of take you down a little path here and have you understand what strategic payoff is all about. Let's give you an example here. Let's say I had 6 debts. Okay, now if these debts were, let's say, from 2% to 22%, that would probably be pretty easy to figure out which debt I ought to pay off first. But let's say these debts range from 6% to 7%. A little bit harder equation now. See, the money merge account, the beauty of the money merge account is the designers have incorporated factorial math. Now, what factorial math basically is if you look at the number of variables that you're dealing with, by using factorial math, it tells you how many solutions you have. So if you have just 3 variables, you would have potentially 6 solutions. If you had 6 variables, you would have potentially 720. And I think, as we can see, when we get up there around 10, 11, 12 variables, we start going into the millions of possibilities. But now let's take this and relate it back to those 6 debts. See, what the money merge account will do is the information is going to be input into the money merge account of your income, your expenses, and all of your debts. And what the money merge account will do is look at each debt individually and look at every variable on each one of those debts, and it'll set up a strategic path. It'll set up a path to optimize for you. So let's give you an idea. Can you guess the combination? Let's say I have 6 loans, and let's say I have multiple variables on each one of those loans. How many possibilities are we looking at? I mean, how many possible combinations are there? Let me just ask you a question. I'm sure many people out there have had a combination lock at one time or another. Have any of you ever lost the combination to the lock? And if you lost the combination to the lock, what did you do? You cut the lock off and threw it away. You didn't sit down and try to figure it out. Here in this situation with 6 loans and multiple variables, it's thousands of possibilities. And one mismovement of a debt on which one to pay off can cost you time and potentially thousands of dollars. The money merge account does not leave this to guesswork. The money merge account is built with sophisticated math engines and algorithms that look at every single variable with relationship to your income, expenses, and discretionary income, and then give you the correct path, give you the correct starting point to find the quickest way to zero, to eliminate your debt, and begin to accumulate wealth. The money merge account utilizes what we call ALOCs, or advanced lines of credit, as vehicles for the money merge account. Consumers can use personal lines of credit, they can use home equity lines of credit, commercial lines of credit, secured lines of credit, credit card lines of credit, multiple lines of credit options. Consumers can use whatever lender they choose. They can go through their existing lender or their existing bank. These lines of credit are out there and available on the marketplace for consumers. The math engines that work with the money merge account will work with credit lines as small as $300 and as great as $300,000. Now, just because your debt, if you have debt greater than $300,000, the money merge account will still work for you. If you have minimal debts, the money merge account will work for you as well. See, what we have found is that the money merge account programs works with various banking instruments and with various dollar amounts. Minimum requirements for the money merge account program are that you have a checking account, a savings account, and a line of credit of some sort. Strategy number 3 is time value of money. Time value of money. We realize that banks have been utilizing this strategy for a long time. Let's talk to you about what the banks know. Banks understand and use the concept of time value of money. Smart investors do what the banks do. They move the right amount of money at the right time into the right account for the right length of time. They capitalize on the principle of stagnant money. See, we as consumers get our paychecks and typically put them in a checking account and wait to pay our bills. So what is our money doing in our checking account? It's waiting to be spent. Or we could say it's basically doing nothing. But banks understand this concept of no stagnant money. See, banks use the practice of sweep account strategy. And what that is at the close of business, the banks sweep the checking and savings accounts of all of their clients. The banks invest that money, earning interest while you sleep. So what the banks have come down to understanding is that time value of money is that they know that money works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It never sleeps, it never calls in sick, and it never complains. Banks capitalize on this. So let me give you a question here. Let's say that you had the choice that you could have $1 million today, or you could have a penny doubled over 30 days. Major choice? Let's see what the best choice was. The correct answer would be if you had taken the option of a penny doubled over 30 days, after 30 days, you would have $10,737,418.24. See, the Money Merge account does not let any penny go to waste. The Money Merge account does not ignore 1 cent of your money. Everything that is input into the Money Merge account is maximized, optimized, and routed into the proper direction. Time value of money. What we do know is every decision that we make financially will either fulfill our dreams or fulfill someone else's dreams. I would say, would you rather have your money working for yourself, or would you rather have it working for someone else? The fourth strategy is the Money Merge account software and coaching system. It acts as a financial dashboard. It can be used as an expense planner, serves as an online account register, maximizes one's money performance, and only takes about 10 minutes a month to update. This is the Money Merge account action plan. This would be the default page, or where all things start. This is things to be done. This is an outlay of an individual's financial picture as they move through a month. In this particular scenario, we're dealing with John and Rebecca Jones with the $200,000 mortgage with the 6% interest with the payment of $1,199. We're dealing with the $5,000 of income, $4,000 of living expense, and $1,000 in discretionary income. And the software is reporting that if John and Rebecca put $5,000 into their vehicle or their line of credit in order to drive the Money Merge account, and they only spend $4,000 a month, they will pay off their line of credit and their mortgage by October 2017 in a total of 9.25 years, and in total combined interest between the mortgage and the line of credit, they will only spend $71,127.83. The Money Merge account tells the client where money's coming from, where money's going to, and this line item right here is the teeth of the Money Merge account program. When we were discussing interest cancellation, I talked about how the program at different intervals would come online, and it would direct the client to move money from one account to another account to cancel interest or strategically pay off that account to optimize a client's money performance with relationship to their income, expenses, and discretionary income. In this particular case, the line item that's been generated by the Money Merge account software is directing the client to send $7,149.76 from their line of credit to be paid to principal only on their primary mortgage, to compress the balance on the primary mortgage, save themselves time and money, just as we saw in the $200,000 example, and basically trade the savings of closed-end interest for the small finance charge on the open-end line of credit. If we click over here to cash flow, we can see that we have our expenses line here. We can detail this out into a budget, and we can add expenses. We can make this as generic as we want or as detailed as we want. We can go all the way and detail every one of our expenses throughout the course of the month, or we can just make generic categories or folders that we can now reconcile with the software. We have an income piece here, and as we can see, the income, anything that's listed in this area will populate directly to the action plan. We can see the name, we can set up a category for it, the frequency of that income. How much is it? What's the next date that we're going to receive a paycheck? And if it is actually an income that has a timeline, like if we had a lease or something of that nature, we can actually put an end date as to when that income is going to stop, and that'll be incorporated into the calculation of how many years and months it's going to take us to pay off and how much interest we've paid. It also will help us set up our budget here.